what it is.
Ready or
Yeah.
not.
So ready or not, let's
So this
go.
is the State of America episode 16, and we're going to talk about ICE. And we'll just go ahead. I'll do an introduction, I guess. I'm with Family Soup TV. Everybody just calls me Soup, and I do a lot of live streaming, um, mostly in my community in Michigan, but sometimes I travel, uh, cover like the news, current events, and stuff. I'm just really hoping we can make some change here tonight. So yeah, whoever wants to go next.
You got to pick who goes next. You know
Okay,
what
go
we're
ahead.
like. We'll all talk at the same time if you say that. Hi there. My name is David Allen Moon. My Indian name is Yakin Lanala, which means wealthy whale. My everyday name is Slachlawis, which means whale showing leadership. I'm from Canada, British Columbia, Canada. I'm the host of Dave Moon TV. I've been around since 2018. I do a lot of research. I talk a lot, so I can be here all night if you guys need. And I've got lots of information from Canada and also other places. And yeah, I wanna promote progressive, positive change. And this is where it starts on Soup TV. I'm glad to be back
Hell yeah.
after 2 years, man. Next.
Haley, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Haley, your Central Valley Townie, Fresno, California. Happy to be here. Your left-leaning, bleeding heart liberal.
Hell yeah. Let's go. Matt, what about you?
Hi, I'm Matt. I am more of like a kind of like a constitutional anarchist. I live in Fall River, Massachusetts, and I'm kind of sick in the way this country's going right now, and like being an empath, it's something that I definitely love talking about because talk creates change.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and go with the question we talked about on the shorter stream last time. And how do you guys feel about ICE? And whoever wants to talk and talk. There's only four of us though.
I don't prefer them at all. I think that they are very violent. I think that they are kind of like a secretive police force that is just terrorizing people, unaliving them, and making mixed kids feel fearful in their lives.
Yep.
And it's very heartbreaking, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really scary that they're like capturing kids, like taking them away from their family and their parents, and putting them in detention centers. And they have like no idea what to do. So that's the kids being abducted thing is really scary to me.
Well, knowing that our president is a pedophile and these kids are being, lost within the system, kind of sounds like trafficking a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It does. Fred the boss died.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. I mean, the rhetoric and the evil and the hate that your president is spreading is, believe it or not, inspiring a phenomenon up here called mega maples, and I know that some of you are aware of it. But quite basically, it's the conservative party up here. The Republicans have the conservative ideology down there, and these quacks up here are inspired by Cheeto himself. We have strange people in Alberta that want to separate from our country. But let's talk about ICE. ICE is exact carbon copy as the Gestapo. They have complete immunity, and they are allowed to do that. In my opinion, they are illegally conducting these raids and harming U.S. citizens that get in the way of their agenda here, and that is to remove BIPOC immigrants. You know, it's okay for Donald Trump's parents to immigrate. You know, his parents were immigrants. His wife's an immigrant.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to put that card out there, but it seems to be a problem when immigrants are brown. That, you know, they look like me. Even indigenous people are getting caught up in this mess,
Yep.
and it's just
Even
it's turning
police
out, and
officers too.
yeah, and the police for a while there seem to be showing that they're backing up the people, you know, with the Minneapolis mayor, but that soon quickly deteriorated, you know, when you see
You know what
uh,
really?
them
You know,
helping the ICE as well in their agenda as well by trying to clear the streets and claim public safety while these ICE people are going around doing their thing. So it's just two evil gangster groups uh, um, harming the good citizens of America. And if they have such problems with these immigrants, I've been talking to, you know, Aaron All-Nighter and other people, and you know they say the same thing I say: document them. We don't need to remove people and kick them out of the country. You're taking a part of the workforce away. Like, what the F is going on with Trump?
The amount of tax revenue that immigration brings into our country, we depend on immigrants for our
yeah,
country
this
to
is why.
function.
This is why inflation's up.
You're not wrong.
No, I know.
Natasha wanted to ask a quick question. She wanted to ask, she overheard that ICE is in Minneapolis right now backing the Gestapo, is the National Guard, sorry. That the National Guard is there backing ICE? Or are they there just to keep things impartial and keep violence from happening and out, you know, or are they there to serve ICE?
That's a good question because I heard today they were giving out cocoa and stuff to the protesters and like trying to like be nice to them apparently, but at the same time, the protesters down there don't want any feds or any
You know what
National
really
Guard
pissed?
people in there.
You know what really pissed MAGA off lately? With this latest death by ICE in Minneapolis, the police chief of Minneapolis even stated that the guy who died, the nurse, said that he was a registered gun owner and that he was a law-abiding citizen who did nothing wrong. So it must have drove them up a wall to see that something that they're supposed to adhere to went right back against them because they're just crazy lunatics.
Yeah.
One at a time, guys, because we're gonna confuse the audience here. Were you finished, Soup?
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Haley wants to talk. You can go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's bizarre. Everything is so ass backwards. The liberals have been handed the NFL. How the fuck did that happen? We are taking back "Don't Tread on Me." How the fuck did that happen? And now we're pro gun rights because I don't know what's going on anymore. It's all so hard to keep up with, and my brain is actively breaking.
Mine too.
Tell me about it. I mean, I think that these are tactics run by the upper management and administration of your country, because they're basically speaking in text. Okay, we're going to unalive a mother, and that didn't stop the protesters. So now we're going to unalive a person that's a registered pew pew owner, and try to see if that'll stop the protesters. And it's not going to. It's got nothing to do with race. It's got nothing to do with what people are thinking. Like, we're out there now. We've always been out there. We've always been fighting for rights. As I mentioned to you guys before, my brother was taken in 1992. There's a guy named Miles Gray that's from the city I live in that was unalived in Surrey, BC, that also had a mental health problem. George Floyd had a mental health crisis. There shouldn't be an execution on somebody when they're having a mental health breakdown. And that's the thing that's going on, with exception to Renee, and then also Alex yesterday. And their agenda, and they're bringing up ideas to try to say that Alex was an agitator, leftist, socialist, terrorist. It's not going to fit in their little profile now, because he actually was a VA, a nurse. He legally was allowed to hold the pew pew he had. So now, like I said, it just seems like the administration is speaking in text, trying to break up the crowds and get people to stay home. No, it's actually going to do the exact opposite, because we cared before when George Floyd was taken. We care now when Renee was taken, and you're starting to really piss us off when you take people that are abiding by the law and streaming. Streaming is not a crime. It is a public area. The man that was taken yesterday, Alex, justice for Alex, had every right to be there.
If anything, it's just strengthening our resolve.
Yeah.
I just don't know where their limits are going to be. Like, what's the next play that's going to come out of their playbook?
I honestly,
it's scary.
I honestly am waiting for the moment that an ICE agent shoots another ICE agent, because these are men who want to go out and play war. These are men who couldn't pass the ASVABs. These are men who couldn't pass the psychological exams to become officers. Half of these men are probably high school dropouts. I can say that because I too left high school in my senior year. But what do you expect to happen when you give a bunch of people who couldn't even pass a psych exam to become a cop guns and immunity? Horrible things are going to happen.
That's why there is training. That's why there's training in the Canadian Armed Forces and the American Armed Forces. You don't just give somebody, some guy, some person, no offense, a random guy, options and access to dangerous pew-pews of any kind. You need to be trained properly. You need to be checked psychologically before you're even given all that stuff. And on top of that, you're supposed to have a commanding officer that gives you orders on when and where to do stuff. I don't know if they even have this stuff. Just go out, guys, and do whatever you want. Let's randomly gear ourselves up in jeans and non ice
uniforms,
slip resistant boots. Like, they don't even have slip resistant boots. They're sliding all over the place, falling on their arses. Like, who's organizing these people? The feds.
Matthew, you had something to say?
Go ahead. Sorry, Matt.
One thing that I kind of understand right now with Black America, because they're kind of pissed off about this and they're kind of taking a step back, some of them, and I can understand why. It's because Renee Good's name got so much more airtime than Keith Porter's name did. Yep. But that's capitalistic. That's capitalistic white America for you.
But it's not about black. It's not about white. It's not about indigenous. Look at the parodies, guys. I've been saying it for years. It doesn't matter who you are. If you get in their way, they'll take you out. That's my point.
True. That's true. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying that's the reason why.
Well, they can do whatever they want. They can think this, it's not that much attention because of this, and then not that much attention because of that. Do you think my brother got attention in 1992?
No.
Exactly. So it's not even about the R word. It's about them getting away with this stuff, about having complete immunity, unaliving people. It's just really stressing me out. Sorry, I'm not getting mad at you, Matt, but I'm just saying, like, are these factions there for just a certain group, or are we all in this together as a progressive group of leftist socialists that want to stand up for all human beings?
right?
Yeah, and the thing of it is, they'll start with
at this point, it's everyone who isn't white and rich. Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, of course, nobody that's got a bunch of zeros behind a one is ever gonna have this happen to them. It's always the poor and the unfortunate and people that live below the poverty line. Just like I said before about that too.
1000%.
Haley, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to tell you. Just go ahead because you were trying to speak.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm just getting excited here.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
I'm just sort of ticked off because nothing's changed. Go ahead.
So I think what I was gonna say is it just depends on who it is. I mean, had it would have been somebody else and not good, for example, some Hispanic or whether they were here legally or not, like I think the uproar, the commotion, the anger would not have been there as it is with Good.
Oh, yeah.
And then this what's his name, Alex, the uproar was already in full force, and now that he's legally with a gun and he's done everything right, can you yeah, I think it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The mess is getting bigger, and the people are getting louder, and it just depends on who it is, because it really, if it would have been somebody else, or if it would have been somebody of color, I don't think it would have been as loud as it is now.
True.
And you are
Very
absolutely
true.
right. You're absolutely right. The media loves the media. If someone of a different race is kidnapped, the media is silent on it. A pretty white girl is kidnapped,
It's all over
24/7
the
news coverage.
headlines. That was the point I was trying to make from the very beginning.
Well, it's because it's true, Matt. You're not
Oh,
wrong.
I know.
I'm just upset that it's like that, you know. We should be just as angry and concerned about anybody being unalived by the feds. It
Oh, yeah.
shouldn't matter what they are.
What's
It should
happening right
matter that they're
now?
human beings. That's what should matter. But what do
What's
I know?
happening? What's happening right now just makes you like go and like look into like all like legality and factuality of the country's founding, and like you see how fucked up it is and has been since it was created. Like say for example, slavery and how it was against black people, but then you go and like you look at the Constitution and there's something in there that says that slavery by like indentured servitude or something like that is still legal when you're in prison. So like it's like they throw these monkey wrenches into the system to make it as bad as it is, to make us fight on both sides of the alley. It's a whole
Well, I mean,
system created to do that.
the prison industrial complex still uses slave labor. Slave labor
Yep.
is still alive and well here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's
It
legalized
shouldn't be, but it
slavery.
is.
It's legalized slavery. The only reason why the laws change is because we have legal representatives fighting for human rights within our legal system. Things wouldn't have changed if they didn't abolish slavery. Women's rights wouldn't even come around if slavery wasn't abolished. Voting
Then
rights, rights of Aboriginal people.
then the Second Amendment.
You
The
know,
Second
it's
Amendment. The Second Amendment is another one because if you look at back at times of slavery, black people were considered two-thirds of a human being.
yeah,
And
under the
now,
law.
So when it comes down to like Second Amendment, it was technically written in for white people. They're making this about race. It was written in for white people, not for black people, and it's fucked up.
Yeah, and the most
Oh yeah.
hypocritical thing that these countries do in Canada and the US is they ignore the rights of Aboriginal people. I was just going to say that before
Yep.
you jumped in there, that we
Sorry.
weren't even allowed to vote or have rights as human beings until the 60s. It wasn't that long ago, and I've talked about this before, and I'll repeat the hell out of myself until I leave this place. That's not that long ago. If it wasn't for these progressives in the law, in changing the law, we wouldn't have what we have today. Now we have to keep going, is what I've been saying over and over too, and I'll repeat the hell out of myself
And you're
there too.
right. You're
We
right
have to
too.
reform. We can't
You're
rip
right
this
too,
place
because the
down and
American
burn
government.
everything down. We need to reform it. We need to get progressive leaders in there like Zoran in New York and get more progressive people in the Democratic Party. I'm not hip with the Democratic Party, but out of the two parties, they have a little bit of less evil in them. They still have a little bit of racism within them as well, because they don't seem to care that BIPOC people and immigrants are being harmed and U.S. citizens, they've got to step up and stop being a bunch of quiet little wusses and step up and start criticizing their opponents and start pushing for change. Quit sitting there silent and also being hypocrites by passing bills to give more funding for these Gestapo groups to do what they're doing. Sorry, go ahead, guys. It's just going to be me talking. I got to shut up here.
I don't know.
My heart's going up.
David, you are talking a lot.
Valid
know.
anger. Valid
I
anger.
think, sorry, I think Natasha had something she wanted to say really quick.
Hi everyone. So basically, I wasn't going to input anything. So I'm the type of person I kind of just like to listen to things before I get involved and kind of just gauge like the environment. But a lot of the things that I'm hearing, I totally 100% agree with. But I did just want to like input something. So hi, my name is Natasha.
Hello.
Hi, Natasha.
I am a Black American woman who, is a U.S. citizen, lived here all my life. And I recently moved abroad. Like in 2018, I moved to Southeast Asia. And I've been out there ever since. Well, I did come here briefly back to the U.S. During COVID because I had to leave due to COVID. Immigration laws changed and they weren't allowing foreigners to stay in Vietnam. So I came back for a brief period during COVID. Then when they reopened the borders, I went back in 2022 and I've been out there, ever since. Anyways, I just wanted to kind of input one thing and kind of speak on one thing I heard about the abolishing of slavery. So that was propaganda. In actuality, slavery was never abolished. It was just changed. So what a lot of people don't know is that the 13th Amendment actually does not abolish slavery. Here's what the 13th Amendment says. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime, whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. So basically, it just changed slavery from chattel slavery to prison slavery. So prisoners were still allowed to be slaves. And a lot of people don't realize that because they don't teach that in history books. They don't teach what the 13th Amendment actually says because it's propaganda. They just call it the amendment that abolishes slavery. When you actually read the amendment, it does not abolish slavery. It just changes slavery from chattel slavery to prison slavery.
Thanks for speaking up because that's a really good point there. I actually watched that movie, The 13th Amendment, kind of explained some of that too. So
100%
Yeah,
true.
that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Well, if you want to have anything else to say, just hop in. We'll be here for a while.
Okay, yeah.
So, do you guys think that Alex shot his gun, or do you think they took his gun from him? Because that's what people are debating right now.
There's video footage before he shot of an ICE agent running away with a gun. I don't know if it's his gun or the ICE agent's gun, but there is video footage from, I think it's the fourth video I saw, the fourth angle I saw, where an ICE agent is leaving with a gun before shots were fired. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think from what I've seen in the slow motion videos, that they took the gun out of his pocket before he was shot, and he never had a chance to shoot his gun. I mean, he was maced in the face and everything. So yeah, trying to protect that one apparently.
And there's one, and you can see it where his hand is on the floor, and the other one he's trying to cover his face with. So while on the floor. So
Yeah, I don't know a person on this planet that could draw their firearm and do anything with it after they've been sprayed in the face. From all the
Also,
videos that I saw, he didn't draw his pew pew.
yeah, I also saw that they were beating him in the head with a gun. So there were also whatever it's called when you beat somebody with a gun.
or the mace canister.
Yeah,
Pistol whip.
They were,
pistol whip. Yeah, that's crazy.
yes.
And I don't know why these guys aren't getting investigated by the FBI, because the people opening fire actually put everybody in danger in that group, because there was a huddle of them. Those projectiles could have went anywhere.
And this goes back to what I was saying about the lack of basic training, the lack of common sense.
You're not wrong.
Right.
You know, I wonder, like, if some of these are just regular people infiltrated into the ICE movement and not really on the payroll, for example.
They're just
The question I
deputized
have,
office workers, from
the
my
question I
understanding.
have, the question I have is, what are they trained on? What is their training? Because it
Oh.
seems like all we see from them is brutalization and terror.
I don't think they have
It
very
makes you
sufficient
wonder.
training.
It makes you wonder.
It makes me wonder, because,
I'll
like I
Google it.
said before, everybody in the armed forces up here and down there has to go through intense training to prove that they are physically, mentally, and able to conduct what their orders are going to be. But not with these guys.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like cops where there's either half and half or a percentage of one and the other, where there's people out there that get outed by their department for speaking on bad cops. But like it seems like all we ever see from immigration and customs enforcement in the media is inherently evil.
Yep.
I honestly am terrified. I'm terrified. You give a bunch of the one ICE agent who was clapping after the shooting took place. These people are clearly emotionally disturbed.
Yeah.
This isn't a video game. These are human beings. These are actual lives that are being taken. And there's some sort of like disconnect in their brain. And to celebrate killing somebody is a level of sick I can't even comprehend.
It's off the rocker. It's off the rocker. It's away from reality.
Sorry.
That's why I have to wonder, like, are these real ICE agents, or are they just people that just show up and try and help out with ICE?
I mean, honestly, you're not wrong. I can buy everything I need on Amazon to appear to be an ICE agent and just go start knocking on people's car doors and shit. What is there to stop me?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they don't even have body cameras, so it doesn't even look like they're official on any level. You know? It's strange.
How easy is it to say, oh, so and so, my boss sent me this way, or I'm going to be working with you guys today, or, like, and you get to become familiar with those people, so they get to know you as an agent, and you're really not.
A lot of
You never
states,
know.
a lot of states are actually enacting legislation now that's barring them from doing anything near courthouses. Because, like, if you're like a migrant and like you're having a court case, it's kind of like unfair to be yanked when you're on your way to court trying to deal with what's going on, rather than not. So a lot of states are fighting back and pushing legislation so that they can't do any operations near any courthouses.
Yeah, the fact they're picking up people from immigration court is next level fucked. That is.
Massachusetts and Rhode Island already passed legislation for it.
Well, it's excessive. Like, it's overreach of authority. I mean, it's, like having a parking ticket is, you just pay it. Like, if you're not documented, go into the immigration and document yourself. Get a
I mean, how fucked up
social
is it?
security card, and get documented. Get your tax information together. These people want to work. They want to pay their taxes. They want to get a home. What happened to the American dream? Not for BIPOC immigrants. Hang on a second. That's the ideology of Cheeto. Period.
Yeah, the American dream now only applies to you if you're wealthy, white, and male.
Yep. I thought about it before during all this stuff with immigration and everything, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, if everything's going on, like, why would you want, like, I can understand in some sense why some immigrants wouldn't want to actually get legal status, because once you become a citizen, you have to pay taxes. The taxation in this country is off the wall, like corrupt. So,
Wait,
like,
sorry, go ahead.
even like in that sense, it's crazy because like the inflation rates just keep raising and we keep paying higher prices for things, but yet we're supposed to be proud American citizens, even though our economy is like going down, down, down.
And
I honestly think the economy is going to fully tank, and we are currently living in the downfall of the United States, and
That's what it
it's
feels
going to
like.
get a hell of a lot worse before it gets better. But honestly, I'm welcoming sweeping change. It has to be dismantled before we rebuild it. It has to be.
Oh, yeah.
but
Where we're
even
at this point.
even with your immigration status and not being legal, there's still so many of them that use the I-10 to be able to do their taxes. They pay into the tax system, they pay into the IRS system, but they don't get any refunds.
They're
So
also not eligible for a lot of
programs,
social services
Yeah,
that
no.
are available to U.S. citizens.
If the children are born here, maybe the children are, but the parents or whoever's not
The
legal,
parents can't.
no. If you don't have a social security number, you cannot apply for anything. So,
That's why
and
Cheeto's a hypocrite, because he's saying in the media that people that are undocumented immigrants are getting funding. So another hypocritical check mark
life,
for him, because that's what he's saying. He's going out there and saying to the media that, oh, immigrants are ruining this country and they're all terrorists and they're all
He
arpists.
sent a huge divide down like my county of Massachusetts, Donald Trump, when he basically people from his base pushed the idea that the reason why homelessness is so bad is because illegal immigrants are taking up all the hotels. But it's like homelessness has always been treated like crap in America. There's
Yeah.
always been a percentage of Americans that have been homeless every year. It's been like this since I was a kid, and probably even
Do you
before
know
that.
why there are so many freaking homeless people? Because Veterans Affairs is not properly funded.
I was about to say that.
Mental health is
Yeah.
not properly funded.
Yep, exactly.
Drug treatment is not properly funded. Preventative health measures are not properly funded.
It's because
There are no safety nets.
our system's so hell bent on like keeping people unhealthy and profiting from it. Why do you think pharmaceutical companies exist that get people addicted to opioids and things like that?
It is getting harder and harder to live under the poverty line with the type of hyperinflation that is occurring in your country
Oh yeah.
and mine. It is harder to keep food on the table because the rent prices are going up and the food prices are going up. So we need massive reform. The governments can do it, but all they do is fight like cats and dogs. It's all over the world. We just have to push for reform in there. There are programs and grants that we can create, just like Cheeto did with getting more funding to ICE. We can change things. We just have to pressure our political leaders to think more in a progressive socialist way. And when you have quack nuts like Cheeto saying that socialism and progressivism is radical, like it's so radical to help people live better.
Doesn't make it easier that both sides are at each other's throats like every day.
Yeah, but we all have a choice. Remember that. You can say it's Cheeto's choice or Cheeto's fault that you people in your state are divided. They all have a choice to divide. Remember that. We all have a choice as people, as human beings, to stand up for humanity or join that club of weirdos that think that, hating other humans because they live below the poverty line is okay.
Oh, so by the way, I looked it up and it said the core training for ICE agents is only 8 weeks.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
What does the core training detail, though? Then they never tell you what the details of the training are. Like, we should know. We pay taxes for this shit.
We should know.
8 weeks. 8 weeks.
Yep.
That that is comical.
It was 5 months. They made it less. Insane.
That is insane.
Yeah, nothing
8 weeks
against
training.
people that work in McDonald's, but they say there's more training time involved in working in McDonald's than that. So
Oh my God.
it's very disturbing.
Yeah.
You can use it if you want it.
I think you get 90 days probation to prove yourself, and then see if you're able to work in the fast food industry. So even in the fast food industry, there's higher standards in working expectations, and that worries me a lot. Like they're just pushing them through, giving them their certification and sending them out in the field before having the proper time to do what they're supposed to be doing properly, and that's not even legal within itself. It's illegal activity that's been legalized by you know who. And like I said, there's mega maples up here that completely are glorified and look up to that lunatic.
How do you look?
But anyways, what about Greenland? Are we moving on to the next one, or maybe I said it too early? If we're
Yeah.
not done already.
Does anyone else have anything they want to say after that?
I actually do. Um, Haley's friend, when she came in and she said she's Black American, I was like, beautiful. By the way, she's beautiful. So I'm not saying anything bad, but why do we have the need to put the Black or the Asian or the Mexican or the Japanese in front of the American? Why not just American? I think that's part of the division. You go to the doctor's office and you see that, what race are you? And it's like, I don't fill it in. I always leave it blank. Because I'm like, it's another way to describe and categorize you in a race, in a set race. So sorry, that was just another thing that I was thinking.
No, you're good. That's a good question. I don't know. I can't think of a good answer to that one actually.
Yeah.
Well,
When Natasha comes back out, she stepped in, take a phone call. I can get her take on it when she comes back out. When they do ask race, race can open doors in a weird way. It can also hold you back, but I know there's certain grants, there's certain scholarships, there's certain things you can get because of race, like NAACP. You can get help with education through them. There's, which you are right. It is divisive. It can create division.
here's my idea. I brought this up before too, and I don't mind repeating myself. It gets frustrating that I have to, but there should be programs for people that are living below the poverty line. If you're not making a certain amount of money every year, everybody should be able to apply for free education, free health care, easy, affordable food sources, rent grants. This all could be made. It's easily made in the laws. If we can change the laws about human rights and everything else, we can change the laws for these things. And I've been preaching about this for years too. It doesn't matter what race you are. The only reason why I bring up my indigenous heritage is because I'm proud of it. I'm proud to be who I am. I have my indigenous name on my arm as a tattoo. I'm a patriot. I'm a true patriot of my tribe. As you can see, it says We Wai Kai Nation or We Wai Kai Nation right behind me. And I'm very proud of who I am, and everybody should be proud of who they are. And everybody is indigenous, so be proud of who you are. And it's the diversity and the differences, the different tribes that are there we are from, that should unite us as human beings. But that's it when it comes to the R word. Everybody should be treated equally. Anybody that's below the poverty line should be get access to grants, regardless of where you're from, because it's all about living in, palliative lives to me.
The fact that we waste, what is it, like 2.7 billion pounds of food, just produce, a year, just because it's bruised or not pretty enough for grocery store shelves. We have more than enough that no person should ever go hungry. No person should ever want for housing and education and medical care and food. It can be done, and those people who say it can't be done, my heart breaks for them, because it can be. There's
You're not
enough
wrong.
to go around for everybody.
You're not wrong. We can have food kitchens preserve food. I have a friend that preserves all kinds of different meats and fruits and stuff, just up the road from me, and that's a great idea. Like, we could take some of the food that's soon to be expired and preserve it, and then give it away at the food banks. There's so much food
Yes.
around being thrown away that you're not wrong. I mean, we could take care of the hunger problems in our countries and around the world if we work together as human beings, instead of allowing politics to be an excuse on why we fight.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. They have like a little thing here in Lansing where you can put food in there for the homeless, and the homeless will come grab it. So, which is really convenient. And I think there are some programs where they get food from restaurants, but there needs to be more. It's not happening enough. If every restaurant gave away their extra food, we would solve the
Since
homeless
we're
problem.
on since we're on the topic of homelessness, I personally all last year spent all of the winter homeless, living out of a tent outside, and it was very, very difficult. It sucked. It was cold all the time, kind of like it is now. And I really had to look outside myself for things to be happy about. But I made some connections and ended up getting back on my feet, and have been since last year.
Good for
So,
you.
nope.
Yeah, I'm glad that.
It's very difficult to overcome. I've noticed that with a lot of people in life, homelessness.
Yeah, you get stuck, and then like another problem is a lot of these places that they have for homeless people, they do drug screening too, and it's like these people are having enough issues. They're already like,
And I
it's
hate that
stupid.
like everyone. I hate that like all like the people in this world that like are against everything that's going on will use the excuse, well, if people use drugs, they don't like, deserve help. It's like, no, I know why people use drugs, because when you're out there living on the street, you feel like nobody cares about you.
Yeah.
You feel like nobody ever wants to talk to you, and those thoughts fill your mind, and
And
the
again, this
void.
goes back to the healthcare system being so irreverently broken. If
Mhm.
everyone had access to mental health care and basic health care and preventative care, there would be so much less drug abuse, because if your mind's right and you have stable housing and the community outsourced resources to be okay, then you're less likely to fall into using drugs to feel okay and to make life feel manageable.
So we're going back to the greediness of the system.
Mm-hmm.
It's all a whole circle of greediness. Like,
Yep.
an example, you guys were talking about the food right now. The A couple years ago, I used to go jogging, and I used to see a tree of what is it, blackberries? We call them moras in Spanish. I can't think of the name in English, but I used to go by there, and I used to have a little basket that I would pick moras off the tree. It was on the sidewalk. free to grab. So, you know, you pick your little bunch and keep going. And one time I posted it, and every time I would go, I would see less and less moras on the tree. Well, half a year later, they tore down the tree. Why? Like, we have Safemart, we have Best Buy, and they tore down a perfectly healthy tree. They couldn't tell me that it wasn't healthy. That tree was healthy. It was huge. It was beautiful. It had lots and lots of fruit, but it was free.
Wow.
That's nice.
What's stopping us all from putting in community gardens in our yards and sharing
Exactly.
with our neighbors? There's nothing stopping
Yeah,
us.
I would love to do. Yeah.
Nothing. I make a couple of $1,000s a year picking blackberries up here. I make some stuff into a bottle there. I bring it to the U Brew, and you know what it is. I don't want to say it on here. But yeah, like there's lots of ways to get free food sources. There's wild fruits all over our countries that we can preserve and also enjoy fresh when it's in season. There's nothing stopping us as human beings in making life more palatable for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And
Uh,
I'm
I,
being
I've
called a
got
terrorist for wanting to think this way.
I've got a decent sized garden already out back. I've got an orange tree, grapefruit tree, Meyer lemon tree. We've got broccoli growing. We've got cabbage growing. We've got strawberries growing. Whatever we don't need, I'm more than happy to go drop off at a local food bank or share with a neighbor who is less fortunate. If everyone was community minded like that, people would be in such a better place.
Yeah. I've been handing out pizza to the homeless, and that seems to be doing something. So I don't know. We can all do our little part for sure.
Yep, all $1.50 as well. You can make these co-ops where everybody brings different products and they can trade, they can sell some of it. There's a guy trying to create that here. I don't know if it worked out or not. Probably too many different political views and divide. But that would work perfectly. I could bring my blackberries to this, freshly picked blackberries and frozen or some made into that bottle, and trade it for other products, other preserved and fresh products. We can do this. It just takes a little bit of thinking, human beings. You can all hear me out there. We can do this. It just takes a little bit of effort and some elbow grease and some brains and not listening to what's being said to you, you know, about people on the internet and just work together. Like, why am I getting older and it's getting harder for people to work together? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, I'm
Help me.
in. Lizette, you're close by.
Not listening.
Oh, sorry. I was just testing the audio.
Oh, I have such a wonderful, beautiful voice, don't I?
It's nice and
Yes,
it's
yes,
nice and loud.
Haley. I'm pretty close to you.
Well, if you're interested, I am considering getting a chicken hutch, getting some chickens, having fresh eggs. If you'd be interested, we can talk to other like-minded people who have access to fresh produce, who have access, and see about opening up like a community as needed food pantry for those who need a little extra help, you know?
I am with you. I'm there. Just let me know.
Fantastic. I'm going to reach out to a couple people also who work, they do some volunteer work here at local food banks and pantries and see if they know any ins and outs. There's also a bunch of local farms too. The produce that's like too small to go to market, they donate. So I'm willing to network with, you know, local farmers and whatnot and see what we can get pushed through to help people out.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
you you know what I'm thinking, and maybe this is just me going a little bit even more beyond, but there's people that actually need it. For example, so I help out over at the food pantry every once in a while here at the West Hills College when they give out like the food for people, and it irates me that I help there and then I help in two other different places, but I see some of the same people going to the same places. And kidding not, I'm like, dude, didn't I just see you the other day? Like, why are we going to 3 different places if we really don't need it? You know?
Although I will say there have been times where I've had absolutely nothing, and I've got, you know, I've got 5 kids where I've had to hit up food banks twice in a week, just because when you have a house full of growing kids, they eat a ton,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, thanks for the knowledge, because like I said, and I'm not judging, again, I'm not judging, but it does kind of like make you think, like, wait a minute, that we give a lot of food, like, you're here, but then I saw you last week at the other one, like, you know, like, it makes you think, you know?
Yeah, I also currently, I'm due to some personal stuff, I'm living with my mom. We've got 4 generations in one household, so we go
Right.
through a lot of groceries.
We're 3 in my household, and we eat like little birds. My food rots sometimes because we don't eat it all. And I hate it. I hate it. So as much as I try, like, I try to be a saver. So whatever I can freeze, I freeze. Whatever I can save, I save. But yeah, we don't eat a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So, how do you guys feel about Donald Trump wanting to take over Greenland?
Yeah, sorry, I brought that up way too early.
No, it's okay.
We
We-
can't
we-
fix the US, and we're
I'm
trying to get something else. We can't even fix the US. We're in
I'm pretty
shambles.
sure. I'm pretty sure Greenland already gave him a response for that when they all rose up and hit the streets protesting.
So here's what we do. We fly him out to Alaska, put up a ribbon, let him cut it, tell him he has Greenland, and leave his ass there. Just leave him. Leave him.
It's like,
Not
you want
Yeah.
it so bad, there you go. How about it?
Get them to clean up the mess that they made when they were up there years ago in the 50s. All oil, the oil canisters and all the junk that I've seen pictures of in their beautiful wilderness. Thousands of oil barrels in the middle of nowhere. You know, if you want to take somebody's country, which, you know, is against the law, international law, why don't you clean up the messes that you've made in that country and in your own? I
I've
mean,
never I've never rooted for a blood clot so badly in all my life.
and we don't want to think this way about people, but what do you do with people that just hate everybody else, that just have as an agenda? He wants to keep himself warm with money, and all his buddies want to be warm with money. It's all about their bottom line. I said this before, I'll say it again. What do you do with people that just think about themselves and money? Like, I don't know, man. It's just the Inuit people of Greenland already have a colonial country, Denmark, you know, ruling their lands. You know, in my opinion, Greenland should be given their independence, and they should become their own country and have their own sovereignty, and not have to answer to Denmark, or have fear of another empire group going in there and exploiting their resources, because that's all this is all about. You guys know that. It's
Oh
always
yeah.
about money. It's all about resources. It doesn't matter about the Inuit people. It doesn't matter about this and that. It's all about the almighty dollar and the
Let us liberate you and your oil and resources.
Yeah, yeah. We heard that before.
Right. It's the same old story.
That's why I criticize America and Canada for saying that they're sovereign countries, but they mistreat the indigenous people. So which one is it? Are you being a free country, treating everybody equally, or pretending to?
He's not even pretending to anymore.
It's outlandishly showing that you're not. Yeah. And I'm not trying to harp on Americans. I love America. I'm a dual citizen myself, being Aboriginal. Some of our indigenous groups are overlapping in both countries, which gives me a right to go down to America. And that's why I can use my Indian status of Canada and go from border to border. But I'm
And
being told
honest,
not to go across that border because I might not make it back. They may mistake me as a illegal immigrant when I'm just coming down to get some Nikes or something.
and honestly, nothing you've said as an American I've taken any offense to, because everything you've said has been true.
Yeah, well, I just want to make sure that I love you guys, and I wasn't talking about all of us here talking about being divided. I'm talking about the general sense of our populations being politically divided, right? I think we're all aligned. I just want to be clear with that, right? And I
Yeah.
also stand aligned with the black communities and the civil rights that they've stood up for. Because if it wasn't for them standing up for human rights, I don't know how if we would have even had human rights in the 60s. So I just want to make sure that I'm not trying to spread any type of divisional statements, right? Like I think we're all human beings and I think we can all love and make the world a lot better. So we can all live palatively and live to be 120 each. I know it sounds like a far-fetched dream, but wouldn't it be nice if we can all live palatively? There's other
But I,
countries that have free healthcare and free education. Why don't we have it here? Why?
Right.
And if we don't have it
Because
started, why not?
the sickly and poorly educated are easily controlled.
Well,
You
and
nailed it.
Elon Musk and Donald Trump want to defund like the Department of Education and all these other departments too. That doesn't help.
Linda McMahon is the head of the Department of Education in your country. I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah,
But isn't
yeah.
she like from a
Wrestling.
family of sports entertainment
Wrestling.
wrestling?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I have nothing against wrestling. See, all the wrestling fans are going to freak out and start sending me threatening
Yeah,
messages
in
now.
fact, actually, back on the WWF back in the day, Trump was on there with Vince McMahon
Yeah, he slapped Vince McMahon.
in
That's
the
hilarious.
ring.
I loved
In
it.
the ring. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to watch the pay-per-views. I used to order it and watch all the stuff back in the Attitude Era. So I still love that era. I'm not much into the flashy stuff that's on today, but I love the Attitude Era and I still appreciate that time. So yeah, I have nothing against Linda McMahon. I have nothing against sports entertainment, but what the heck is she doing in the education department? But back to Greenland. I'm carrying on here off topic.
What's what's his name? Mr. Kennedy here doing in charge of the health department. That dude looks sickly as hell. The dude that we have in charge of our health department here in
Mr.
America right now.
Yeah.
Like every time he comes on the screen, I almost like want to like throw up because like the way he looks almost like he's completely sick in a
Yeah.
way and trying to teach people how not to be sick. It's like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And I
don't
don't
I
think he
don't get
believes
it.
in science. Sorry, go ahead.
It's crazy.
Like he's one of those ones that definitely failed science class and doesn't believe in even theory. So I don't know. Why these people run our countries is beyond me. It's not any better up here.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna have to um leave the podcast. I'll probably pop back in here in a little bit, but I've got to do some mom stuff.
Yeah.
But I shall return.
All
Yeah.
right.
Well, I think we're up on our hour anyways. I
All right.
wasn't too sure if we were gonna do an hour, and I wish you well for coming by.
Alrighty, I wish you guys well.
thank you. Wish you guys well.
Yeah, I hope you guys all have a wonderful night. Soup, you tell me. I'm not the host. I'm just a talking head here.
Yeah, we can end it soon. I don't know. Do you guys have any closing statements?
Well, I've already said my piece about Greenland. Like, I
Yeah.
think that was the last topic, I think, but I'm not certain. You're the host, but
Yeah.
I think we've covered everything that's happened this week. I hope that we do this on a weekly basis. I will be sending you the information of what's going to happen this week. God knows what's going to happen. and then perhaps maybe next weekend around the same time we can do this again, and we'll just keep circulating this information on all the platforms as much as we can, because we're not going to change the world waiting for politicians who fight like cats and dogs to do absolutely nothing. We need to enrich and educate the public. Change will happen that way. I have faith in our human beings. They have brains, they have ears, they have reasoning, they are humans, they have feelings. I believe in all of you. I believe in everybody in the panel, but I believe in 7 billion people and making the world better. So listen to Dave Moon TV, listen to Soup, listen to Matt, listen to all the podcasters out there that are talking about progressive humanity and socialism, and let's get some of this stuff done. Because I don't want to sit here for another 25, 30 years waiting for nothing to get done, and then I'm just this old decrepit man sitting here repeating the shit out of myself for the 500,000th time.
Yeah, these ladies can start a podcast too. I mean, anyone can do it. Like it's we all
Yep,
have
it's
our own
easy.
little networks.
I input something real quick before we leave.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, go for it.
We will not change anything of what's going on if we just stay home, stay silent, and do as we're told.
Silence
Yep.
is
Yeah.
violence. Yeah.
Down with conformity, man. It's time that we get out of our houses, ground ourselves. And yeah, I'm on TikTok if you guys want to ever join me on there. I'm on other platforms, but I go on there on a frequently daily basis. I'll probably be on there in a little bit. I want to thank you guys for listening to me talk like constantly, and I do that on TikTok as well. Thank you.
Yeah, the only thing we didn't really talk about is Renee Good, but I think we all have the same feelings about that. So
Well, we can do that too.
yeah, I mean, she was murdered
Yep.
by ICE, and she was obviously shot by Jonathan Ross.
Or Keith Porter, which happened back in
Keith Porter,
December of last year.
What?
Which
I don't know much about Keith Porter, so Matthew, if you would like to talk about it, you can go ahead.
I remember actually reading about it, and like I'm surprised it didn't get enough airtime when it happened. But as soon as like this whole Renee Good thing came up, it started getting more airtime. He was a father of I think three in Los Angeles, California, who was shot and killed by an off-duty ICE agent coming out of his house because he heard gunshots. Apparently, it was the turn of the new. It was the turn of 2025 into this year, the new year, and everyone in their neighborhood owned guns, and they celebrated by shooting them up in the air as a form of celebration. And he went and did it, and an ICE agent comes out and shoots him. So
When did this happen?
back in like December of 2025.
Oh my God. See, and I didn't even know about it, and it didn't sound
Yeah,
like
it was like
Soup knew about it, so it
Yeah,
wasn't even covered.
yeah, this is
So
crazy.
that's terrible. That's nuts.
yep.
You know what?
And
I'm looking at the list right now of deaths that have occurred in detention and in by ICE, and it's a pretty big list. It's a pretty big list. That's sad.
and what makes me sick is that right off the bat, um justice for Renee, right-wing media immediately started adhering to Cheeto and his words, calling Renee a leftist and a terrorist and an agitator. And I think maybe a little bit she was an agitator in what she believed in, because she was standing up for human rights. And they were saying that, yeah, she tried to use her vehicle as a weapon, which wasn't true. I've watched those videos over and over, along with the ones in Alex's incident yesterday. Now, it really disturbs me that a lot of people they eat the Cheetos and drink the Kool-Aid and believe anything their right media says on Reddit or Newsmax to be absolutely substantially true.
Yeah,
It's just completely boggles my mind when I know we have brains, we have eyes, we can see, but when you're politically motivated a certain way, that's kind of like how the thought process of not you guys, but the right wing media Kool-Aid drinkers think. Oh well, they deserved it. They were trying to hurt an ICE agent. They're right off the bat terrorists, right? And it just disturbs the hell out of me. I don't know if I brought this up. It's got nothing to do with this situation, but I have a news article from New Westminster News saying that I'm considered a terrorist up here because I stood up for the good indigenous people of Gaza.
If you want me to be honest, I think QAnon fucked with a lot of people's heads.
Yeah. Again, they chose to do it, right? They didn't have a pew pew to their head. They have a choice to think this. They have the choice of reasoning and understanding things. You can't blame the device. You gotta kind of blame the person that's supposed to have a brain, something between their ears and behind their eyes. But I don't know if it's there or not. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. All you right wing media, that's what I feel about you, and anybody that drinks the Kool-Aid of that. I don't know if there's anything there. Are you there?
Right.
And like I said, not you guys. I mean people that believe this right wing media bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But they all have a choice. Like I said, I go on the default there. They have a choice. You can believe in what you want. You can believe that an opinion is not a fact and that a fact isn't an opinion. But I watched the videos of Renee, and she even said, "I'm not mad at you, bro." It was one of the last things she said before the guy laid it out on her. And he actually caused the danger when she crashed into the pole. And the right-wing media and Reddit and Newsmax and all these morons, sorry, go ahead and come after me after. I really don't care. Message me on Facebook or any platform. I'll argue with any of you any day of the week. She did not use her vehicle as a weapon. She was trying to get away. And same with Alex. He wasn't doing anything wrong. George Floyd, he was committing a little bit of fraud. Is that an execution when you have a mental health problem? My brother was executed for having a mental health issue. Miles Gray was executed for having a mental health issue. When is this going to stop?
Didn't they show, sorry, you said that he was committing fraud. Didn't they already prove that the $20 bill that he had was actually real? So he wasn't committing fraud.
I'm not sure. But at the end of the day, he needed some medical help.
He did.
And he didn't get that. Instead, he got what happened.
Yeah. Dude, we could talk about that all day. Oh my God. That's
like, it's just terrible that this is still happening. And to say that these good American citizens are agitators and leftist socialist, Antifa terrorists is absolutely horrible. And they're no longer here to defend their own honor and their own reputation. And it just makes me sick that people believe opinions as factual. What the fuck, man?
Yep.
But we know the difference. We know the truth. Our eyes aren't lying. We saw what we saw. We know what we saw. Justice for Renee, justice for Alex, justice for anybody that's had to deal with authoritarian brutalities.
a good way to. I think that's a good way to end things. Unless you guys have anything else.
Justice for Keith.
I think it is.
What is his last name? Porter?
Yep, Keith Porter.
Okay.
And that's why I said that anybody that's dealt with or has lost their lives due to this crappy system that's being politically motivated and fueled by evil. I thank you guys for allowing me to speak, and I hope you guys all stay safe and well, and we'll see you next week, hopefully, on the next episode of Soup TV.
Yeah. That's a good way to end it. Thank you guys.